morning, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well today, this Wednesday evening. I have a couple of things that I need to mention off the bat. First of all, if you hear me speaking strangely, it's because I've developed what's it called? A canker sore on the inside of my lip. And it's really been bothering me lately. And unless I speak a certain way, it sort of irritates it. So I'm going to be trying to I'll do my best to speak normally, but you know, you'll hear that I'm speaking out of like the side of my mouth or whatever. It's also very annoying to try to drink water. Ow, yeah. I'm looking into getting that fixed. My local grocery store did not carry any like amino acid supplements, which I've been informed is helpful for treating canker sores. So that's a shame. But I've also read that red meat and eggs are a good solution as well. So I'm gonna have me some burgers tomorrow, I guess. So that's that. Second, if you were here for the voiceover stream last week, we did the DJ Boomboss and was it Rolu roles. We auditioned for those. And unfortunately, those were cast to off-site actors. So that's a shame. Felt like we did pretty solid there. But, you know, can't win them all. So there's that. I'll be posting the audition lines individually on my YouTube channel at some point. I like to do that after the casting is finalized. But that's all the updates I have. That's the preamble. Today's game, we're starting a brand new game today on stream called Solstice. And the game describes itself on its Steam page at least as a mystery visual novel. Or actually, I'll read it. I'll read the blurb. It describes itself as a dystopian mystery visual novel about small personal disasters that turn into great catastrophes. So you know what, chat? I've never played a visual novel before. So this will be a interesting new experience for me on multiple levels. We're doing a 3-hour stream tonight to make up for the fact that I am not streaming on Friday because I'll be at a convention. So let's get into it. Let me switch over to the appropriate setup there. You can hear me. That's muted. And I muted the audio earlier while I was waiting to start the stream. So here it is. You should be able to hear it now. I'll tell you something, chat. This game is loud. By default, it is extremely loud. I have it set to 10% on my volume mixer right now. And it's still kind of like loud. Here's 5. I'll set it to 5. And as far as I've been able to tell, this game also does not have controller support, which is a shame. Can confirm that you can hear it. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. Wasabas. You're just in time. So, let me check the options right quick. Autoplay, imagine. Imagine if I just pressed autoplay and just sat here for 3 hours, letting the game play itself. Instant. We'll stick to normal. Okay, so new game, everybody. Here we go. I have no idea what to expect. I mentioned before this is my first visual novel as well, so. So odd. I could have sworn I heard voices. Perhaps it was the wind. Yes, it must have been. If only that damn caravan driver actually did what he was paid for. I have to turn around, you know. I have a wife, you know. Where I come from, his wife would be ashamed, you know. And the Chancellor. I wonder when she last did any actual field work. I bet she's lounging in that big warm chair of hers right now, on a thick, warm carpet. Bloody odds. Is it freezing? But I can't give up now. Human lives and our reputation are at stake. Besides, it should be right across this valley. Wait, there it is. The Jewel of the North. It's beautiful. I could have stared at the schematics all I wanted, and I still wouldn't have been able to imagine this. That dome doesn't look familiar, though. The others must have added it. No matter. I can't just stand here and stare. These pipes must be part of the system. They're so warm. Maybe I could take a short break before I continue. Just for a brief moment. Huh? Huh? I'm pretty sure I heard someone. Then maybe it's time to wake up? You're almost there. Nana Geed? Is that you? Am I dreaming? So it would seem. That would explain why I'm not freezing. And your clothes. No offense, Nana, but you're not exactly who I hoped to see. Really now? And who, precisely, would you have preferred? I'm sorry, it's just... This caravan couldn't go any slower, and the nights are so cold in the north. I hoped you'd be the driver announcing we'd arrived at the gates. Wait, okay. So, is this the dream of our unnamed character right now? I think that's what's happening. Like, our unnamed character sat on the pipe, went to sleep, and this is the dream they're having? I think so. Oh, is there a way to go back? I hoped you'd be the driver announcing we'd arrived at the gates. Oh. Help. Choices, saving, read back. If you miss something, you can always rewind the game using the mouse wheel. You can't rewind past decisions or through other important moments, though. Okay. I just want to see if I'm understanding this right. Just for a brief moment. Huh? sure I heard someone. Then maybe it's time to wake up? We're almost there. Nanagid, is that you? Am I dreaming? So it would seem. Okay, I'm a little confused, but I think it might be explained later. Okay, so we're in a dream sequence, but whose dream is it? This guy's? Or the pipe girl? That would explain why I'm not freezing. And your clothes, no offense. Really now, who precisely would you prefer? I'm sorry, it's just, this caravan couldn't go any slower and the nights are so cold in the north. I hoped you'd be the driver announcing we'd arrived at the gates. That or something more entertaining. I'm afraid this is not one of those dreams. That's alright. I'm glad to see you anyway. How are things back home? Playing Solstice is a bit like reading a book. However, you are often presented with a choice on what to say or do. Your decisions will shape the story ahead. Okay, so I guess we get our first decision. Maybe Pipe Girl was part of this guy's dream? I think this has all been the same dream sequence so far. What's his name? Gallon and Geed. How should I know? I'm a figment of your imagination. Wait. It's alright. Glad to see you anyway. How are things back home? How should I know? I'm a figment of your imagination. So, this is just a dream. Oh, so I finished the sentence. I'm glad there isn't a timer on this. How should I know? I'm a figment of your imagination. So this is a dream. So this is just a dream. How annoying. I mean, I already knew it was a dream. How annoying. Stop playing games with me, Nana. I'm not that little boy anymore, and I know what you can do. Oh, but you are, from what I see now, impatient and quick to lash out. Be forceful if you like, but know what type of person you are dealing with beforehand. Thanks for the advice, even though it's a bit cryptic. You seem very serious about all this. I'm simply concerned about my favorite pupil. Just remember that some mistakes are not worth making. Were you the one who taught me that I shouldn't be afraid to experiment with which route I choose to follow? That's strangely fourth wall breaking. Just do what must be done and come back home, and keep your secrets safe. They likely sent someone as well. Now, wake up! Wake up, Doctor! What? Why are we stopped? Are we there? Almost. The dogs found someone in the snow. She's still breathing. Damn lucky, if you ask me. And here I was complaining about an uneventful journey. Let me get my things. Prologue. The Arrival. "10 days and 10 nights of shivering, a chattering of teeth, of freezing my butt off. At long last I had arrived. The city of ice, jewel of the north, smelled of wet dogs, sweat, and tears. When the gates closed, the city became a winter fortress. No other caravan would arrive for the next 3 months. For better or worse, I'd spend these months with those who didn't have leave for the winter, those with reasons to stay through the cold. The loneliness got to me fast. The doctor I replaced left 2 weeks before I came. I didn't even have a chance to speak with him. My patient didn't make for good conversation either. She hadn't regained consciousness since we found her in the raging blizzard. Okay, so Pipe Girl was real. She fell asleep on the pipe. We went into this guy's dream sequence where I guess he was asleep in the caravan and heard Pipe Girl's voice through her dream somehow. Then he woke up, found her in the snow. That's what I think is happening right now. Like, I know, like, if you hear something, like if you have music playing, or like if you fall asleep in front of your TV and like the characters on TV are saying something, those lines can go into your dream. I think that's kind of what happened here. My patient didn't make for good conversation either. And Gallon is the doctor, I think. She hadn't regained consciousness since we found her in the raging blizzard. Eventually, I decided to tour the city to see if its inhabitants were as interesting as I imagined them to be. So we arrived to fill a doctor's role. I think the driver woke him up and told him about the Pipe Girl. Yeah, they found Pipe Girl in the snow. Okay, yeah. Well, Gallon said he had heard a voice, but I think maybe he was just talking about Nana. Okay. That makes sense. So those were like two separate events. She rests on the pipe, falls asleep, passes out. We have Gallon's dream, and he wakes up, and the driver tells him about Pipe Girl. Okay, got it. I think I understand now. And then they all go into the city. Gallon's a doctor, fills in for the last doctor. Everybody is holed up here, and everybody's really sad about it. The caravan pilot was my first choice, a strong silence type. Not much of a conversationalist, but she had done her job well, so thanks were in order. Thanks. For you brought us here alive. Frozen, but alive. Who would have thought? I don't know. The other one looked almost dead to me. Her? Oh, fortune's on her side. She'll be fine. Trust me. I'm a doctor. Yakone. Thanks, but I'd rather not. I trust nobody, and I'd be a fool to change that. Oh? And why is that? Trust is a luxury. Trust is a luxury we, living in the North, can't afford. Maybe it's different for you Southerners, but I make no exceptions. Trust no one? Make a reasonable attitude. Make an exception for me. Not very social of you. Maybe it's different for you Southerners, but I make no exceptions. What kind of character do we want to be? A reasonable attitude. Do we want to be her friend or not? I guess. I'm not very invested in her. She just drove us here. She doesn't seem to be very happy with us. Everyone should accommodate for you. Make an exception for me. I don't know, it seems a little out of line. I'd say it's... Well, I mean, I don't know this universe. I don't know if that's reasonable. I'm gonna... Trust no one? Not very social of you. You must win many hearts with an attitude like that. I don't care about being a people person. Believe me, trust is for fools, and fools don't grow old in this city. Well, the city really is something else. You Southerners always do that. When you get uncomfortable, you switch to some benign topic. Still, you're right. This place is special. Called out immediately. A utopian garden in the middle of an icy desert. Incredible. I wonder how it's done. Look up. Oh. I had a feeling it had something to do with the huge sparkly dome. What a sight. Really interesting. I wonder what went into making it. What in the spirits are you doing? Just taking some notes on it. It's a habit I picked up during my studies. And done. The city and its secrets. The city is protected from the harsh northern weather by a special dome. Okay, so I can check my notes at any time I want. Important clues and bits of information are stored in your case files. You can access them at any time by clicking the scroll icon in the dialog box. Nice, okay. How can you people appreciate anything with your noses stuffed in your notepads? The real thing is right in front of you. Ha! I have no idea. I guess that unnerving humming sound comes from the dome too. You'll get used to it. Everybody does. That's how this place works. It makes you accept things. Really now? Is there a story in there you'd like to share with me? We'll spend the next 3 months locked away from the world, seeing the same faces each day. Don't worry. By the time the winter season passes, you'll have heard more stories than you can handle. I can handle a lot. Tell me, am I right in thinking you're not originally from here? You're in a technological wonder raised in the middle of an icy desert. If there's anyone in this city who's actually from here, it's me. What is that? What? We're in a technological wonder raised in the middle of an icy desert. If there's anyone in the city who's actually from here, it's me. I come from the tribes who inhabited this land long before this crazy contraption was built. The less said about them, the better. Okay. Yakone, the caravan driver. Yakone originates from the tribes that inhabit the north frozen wasteland. Good. The less said about them, the better. If you miss something important, you can always rewind the game. Okay. Now please, leave me alone. I'm busy. Yakone was as cheerful and perky as a sledgehammer. I wonder what the meaning of her name in her. I wonder what the meaning of her name is in her native tongue. Something tells me it's attitude. She was right about one thing though. The girl we found was in really bad shape. Frankly speaking, she was lucky to be alive. What madness made her venture through the icy desert on foot? I'd have to ask when she woke up. Luckily for me, the next person I met was in a much better condition. Call me superficial if you'd like. Good morning, officer. Why was I summoned here? Am I being arrested? You can press escape or right click to open the in-game menu to save or quit. Your progress is also auto-saved when you quit. Okay. Nothing like that. Oh, too bad. So, you're the new doctor. I want to welcome you to our city. My name is Kasaya. I am the chief of the guard. Thank you, glad to be here. Pardon my boldness, but you look different from the other guards. I've noticed a few around the market. They had these really fancy uniforms. Those are the private security of the merchant families, staying behind over the true winter to protect their precious district. The city guard is a separate entity. Honestly, I couldn't care less about a fancy uniform. Before I got this job, I used to be a sellsword. Experience taught me simple attire works best. '" 'Cause 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 Besides, you don't look like our last doctor either. Where's your white coat? Good point. I guess it's not the clothes that make the man. Exactly. In any case, I hope your coming here will prove worthwhile. Oh yes, I'm sure it'll be a big boost to my career. It might. At the very least, you can spend your contracted time analyzing the locals. I'm sure you'll find them odd, eccentric, and generally unstable enough to be worthy of research. So, everyone is crazy? Odd, eccentric, generally unstable enough to be worthy of research. So everyone is crazy? Hardly surprising. That's kind of rude. And you're saying? Who said crazy is bad? I don't want to be rude. Of course, there's no way to know exactly what I'm going to say when I click any of these, because, you know, it's never just this verbatim. And you're the sane one? Nice to be welcomed by the only sane person, then. Though you do seem suspiciously at ease here. Oh. Had a missed call. Don't be fooled. I'm as crazy as the rest of them. I simply have the advantage of being armed. Did I miss something? I can only hope I won't flip and join the party. About that. Remind me to tell you what happened to the previous doctor. Anyway, have a good stay in the city and feel free to drop by the guardhouse if you want to chat. Your every decision matters. When the branch icon appears, when the current events are a consequence of your earlier choices and could be different on another playthrough. Okay. And please, don't start any trouble. There are so few of us here, it would be a shame if someone had to spend the entire true winter in jail. Ouch. No worries, Captain. I'll keep my trouble-making nature at bay. Glad to hear it. See you around. I kind of want him to tell me right now what happened to the previous doctor. Maybe I shouldn't wait for that. It seems important. I already had a good feeling about Kasaya. I'd always felt uniforms and a sense of humor were the perfect combination. Maybe being stuck in this place for 3 months wouldn't be as boring as I thought. The next destination was the local bathhouse. I didn't have time to daydream in the tubs, but I couldn't resist at least dropping by and saying hello. At the bathhouse? Okay, odd choice, me. The hostess, as it turned out, was even more friendly than the guard. So I guess the very beginning of the game is just getting to know all these characters. Good day, traveler. Allow me to welcome you to our city and to my bathhouse. Thank you. Please don't be offended by my question, but how come people were so eager to have a look at me on the way here? They were watching from their windows. This is a big city. Am I a tourist attraction of some sort? An oddity? Or is there something on my face? I can say with absolute confidence that there is nothing wrong with your appearance. It is very pleasing to the eye. And being in charge of the bathhouse, I have plenty of physical specimens for comparison. So, you see people without makeup or clothes. That must be revealing. A little too revealing at times. I've always considered myself a bit of an expert on well-being and beauty. I know how to help people's true inner beauty shine. Whoops. But there are moments when I see that some things get hidden for a reason, and should probably stay that way for a benefit of us all. So I'm exceptionally handsome, and that's why people stare at me. Is that what you're saying? It isn't just that. The weather will cut this city off from the world for 3 months. Aren't you curious about the people you'll be stranded with? Should death be an option for romance? A little bit of smashy smash? Oh, for sure. I have a feeling all of these characters are romance options. But, she's coming off as a little bit too eager for my taste. They are just as curious about you, especially as so few of us stayed for the dead season, and since you look so alluring. Seems reasonable to me, and you're right, I am curious. So, what do I do now? Do I find my own window to observe people from? I'd be glad to formally introduce you to everyone here, if you'd like. A formal introduction? No way in hell. I love curtsying. I prefer personal to formal. Okay, so do we want a formal introduction to everybody? Or do we want to meet them just one-on-one? I think I'm gonna go with a no thanks here. I prefer to speak freely with people without hiding behind archaic rules. No way in hell. That wasn't exactly what I was going for, me, but whatever. Well, I guess this isn't me. This is Gallon. So. You should come to the bathhouse more often then. This is the place where people relax and speak their minds. If that's the case, I'll definitely be back. I was beginning to think people were chatty and warm here in the north. Back in the Isles, we partied whenever there was a newcomer. Because it was the polite thing to do, yes, but mostly because, well, parties are fun. Constance seemed like a woman used to a more sophisticated type of entertainment, though. And I must admit, her perfume smelled amazing. But I started to wonder, what did folks in the city do when they wanted to have fun? I guess watching the dome could be an entertaining, if nauseating, pastime. And there was always talking to other people. At least, that's what I thought until I met Sem. Not the most social fellow. He was also a dog person. Uh-oh. Now we get the wacky weirdo. So, these are the kennels. I don't really know what I was expecting. So, I'm the new doctor. I just arrived and I'm going around meeting everyone. Did I learn anything new, by the way? Overly seductive, expert on beauty, okay. Going around meeting everyone. In truth, if Constance hadn't told me about this place, I'd probably never have found it. I value my privacy. So, what do you do around here? I handle the dogs. Yeah, the barking sort of spoiled that surprise. So, you have a couple of nice pups? That's great. I like dogs. I don't have them. You can't own a dog, just like you can't own a friend. No dog would ever say he was owned. I think there's a dark secret of the people that chose to stay behind. Maybe a really creepy latex gimp club. Yeah, why would you stay here though? I mean, most of them probably have obligations or like they don't have the money to leave or whatever. But still, this sounds kind of horrible. Oh? And what would a dog say? Nothing, of course. But no dog would have such an idea. They're much more honest than humans. Honest? Haven't you ever seen a puppy pretend it hadn't slept in your bed, despite leaving fur everywhere? It likely wasn't properly told that its pack doesn't share a lair. Don't expect animals to understand human customs. People, however, understand them well, and try to take advantage of them intentionally. I guess they do. What was your name again? I'm Sem, the city's master of kennels. A pretty important position, seeing as all travel here is done by dog sled. I do what I'm good at. Well then. Do I really want to talk to this guy more? He kind of freaks me out a little bit. He can't hold a conversation. I mean, he is intriguing. It was not nice meeting him. I mean, that's the polite thing to do, though, isn't it? I do what I'm good at. Well then, let's try to keep the conversation going. You sure have the right job. Why do you know so much about dogs? What do you mean? I just listen to them. I can hear them right now, but it's still just barking to me. Where'd you learn to understand them so well? It's not a matter of place. You can learn to communicate with dogs anywhere. Right. The dogs are getting restless. You should be on your way. Good day, Doctor. Okay. So diverse and full of life. Yes, the atmosphere of this new city was already starting to sink in. Everyone back home thought I was insane for coming to a place where the water is frozen and people wear ridiculous amounts of clothing all the time. If only they knew. I was still exhausted after the journey, so the final introductions had to wait until the next day. My quarters were surprisingly comfortable, even inviting. Apparently, the previous doctor had been somewhat, demanding. I asked Kasaya if he was the only official around, and if all the powerful merchants I heard so much about had already left the city. He merely smiled and told me to expect a guest early in the morning. And some guest it was. The mayor? Bets on the mayor? Spirits, yes, I'm coming. Hello? Who is this? Open up, boy! I haven't gone all day. Some of us have to sleep, you know. What? Did your southern son eat your smarts, or are you dense by nature? I'm the one who's paying you. Open the damn door. Oh, hello there, sir. Madness! Do they let infants cure people now? Well, what is it, kid? You can speak, can't you? What a charming man. Still, he is my boss. Sorry, I just woke up. I'm quite good at speaking, though. I admit I still have problems with some of the bigger words. Especially when I'm half asleep. It'll do you good to get up early. It's almost daytime anyhow. Well, I guess you'll have to do. They wouldn't have sent someone wholly incompetent. I see the captain already showed you the office. You'll be attending to your professional duties there. This includes your patients and the plants. The old doctor left quite a herbarium, I must say. It would be a pity to see it wither because you lack the discipline to care for it. I take my obligations seriously, sir. I assure you of that. Do you now? Well, it's good to hear such a thing from one so young. What was your name again? I'm Galen, sir. Ah, yes, of the Geed clan. It's not exactly a clan. It matters not. I know of your family, tribe, or what have you. Quite famous, some of you. Very expensive services. But I digress. Do your job right and we'll get along just fine. And whatever you do, don't trouble me. I may be retired, but that only means I have even more control over what I do with my time. He's a retired banker, but he still seems to be in charge of everything. Okay. I understand, sir. Good. Maybe you're not as feeble-minded as that ridiculous smile makes you look. And call me Istvan. I don't hold official titles anymore, so you don't have to sir me. Okay. Istvan was something else. I don't think I'd ever met a man his age with so much energy. He was actually in a hurry to go to bed, which made me wonder what he'd been doing the whole night. He also gave me a priceless piece of information. I was to get all my meals at the local inn. Just in time, too. I was getting hungry, and when I'm hungry, I'm only half the charmer. Hello there, madam. Are you the innkeeper? Hello to you too, young man. That I am. You're the new doctor, aren't you? Yes, that's me. It must be obvious, but with so few people left in the city and me being the only new face. I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't know who you were, Galen. Including knowing my name. Especially the name. Mine's Slava, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Slava. But what are you doing here at this early hour? Okay, so she knows things. Let me guess. The old fool paid you an early welcome visit? The old fool? Crazy old man. I wake up early anyway. I wake up early anyway, you know. It's alright. I'm glad to be up so early. Got a lot of things to do. Oh my, such a positive outlook on life. Haven't seen that around here in a while. Istvan isn't the easiest person, you know. Be careful not to yield to his every whim. Apparently he was up all night and wanted to speak with me before he went to bed. As long as he doesn't do that every morning, I can put up with his unusual habits. But isn't Istvan your boss too? Isn't it risky for you to call him what? An old fool? Ha! If I got a silver shilling each time I called him that to his face, I'd have my own palace in the merchant's district by now. Istvan tolerates this? He needs me. I also think he respects me because I, unlike so many others, speak my mind openly. He probably feels a bit sorry for me as well, I think, because of Lev. Who's Lev? My insane husband. Oh, may I ask what happened to him? Kala, that's what happened. Wait, what did it add? What's the new information? Okay, well. Nothing, I guess. Kala, that's what happened. But I'm babbling. You came here to eat, didn't you? I immediately like Slava. Oh, I missed that. Oops. Anyway, said she was edgy. But also in that moment, my curiosity about Slava's husband awoke. For almost a week, I barely got a glance of him. I began to imagine him as some sort of lunatic with inhuman attributes that got weirder each time I thought about him. By the time he came to me, I have expected him to have a tail, horns, and a smell of sulfur. The funniest thing about Lev is that he didn't disappoint me. When he appeared at my doorstep, everything about him proved Slava was right. Oh boy. He does have horns? I'll be right with you. Just need to water these Atropa. Man, what happened to you? Someone beat you up? Someone? If one's not a fool, can you honestly call him someone? Who did this? They want it. Kala, glory, over my dead body. Kala, what? Listen, you're safe now. Let me check your wounds. You have bruises. Ha! But a head with no skin can get no bruises. Let them try with the hollow guardian. Come, look in the empty eye sockets. Dark within, horns hiding the light. I asked if that was Kala. Cuts and bruises are going to hurt. They'll heal soon enough, but your collarbone might be fractured. I'm afraid you could have a mild concussion. Might not even be that mild. Lie down and let me get you medicine. No, it's calling to me. Release the pain and be gone. What? You can't leave. You shouldn't be walking in your condition. You want to command he who will command Kala? Release the pain. What? You want me to relieve you of pain? You need help. Tell me exactly what occurred today and hide nothing so I can treat you properly. I have to go now. Wait. You need to stay because of the pain. You're in a lot of pain. You won't be able to do much in your condition. You can't even stand up straight without support. Let me treat you and escort you home, or wherever it is you're staying. No, it will guide me. The Kala will make me stronger. Wait, drink this. It'll at least take care of the pain and stop any possible infections. Drink. You'll heal faster. And please, take it easy. Just go slow. Drink. Very good. Chapter 1. Tracking the lion. Everything about Lev was ominous. Even without years of experience in psychiatry, I could tell that his babbling wasn't caused by a concussion. Who could imagine what happened later that night? Over the next week, I followed the monotonous pace of the city and gladly accepted the routine it offered, but gradually the novelty started to wear off. My patient remained in quite a bad state. I had to use all my skills to accelerate her healing process. She was no longer comatose, but still spent most of her time asleep. Too weak to speak. Too weak to speak, she only gave me her name. Yanni. I was starting to fear that things would become dull much too quickly for my tastes, until early one morning my patient and I could finally talk. Or is it pronounced Laurel? I'm impressed. You seem to have recuperated completely. I'm happy to say my work here is done. I'm glad to hear that, Doctor. I'm very eager to get back to normal life. You should check your head, though. An attempt to get to the city on foot is close to suicidal, even in the summer. Whatever made you try something so dangerous must have been very important. I would be lying if I said I'm not curious. Nice to know someone finds me interesting. You almost died to get here. If that's not interesting, I don't know what is. Doctor Gallon, are you there? What the? Sounds like an emergency, Doctor. I'd best leave you with your patient. I'll be in the kitchen if you need me. Okay, we'll talk later. I don't think I'll be getting much out of you, though. Hello, Dr. Gallon? Are you in there? Slava? Hold on, I'm coming. Doctor, you have to help me. No one else will. It's all right, Slava. What's wrong? That crazy old fool, he's gone. Gone for good. I know just something terrible has happened to him. Whoa, please, calm down and start from the beginning. What do you mean, gone? His things are all gone, just like last time, only he's never been missing for so long. I can't help you if I don't understand what you're saying. Try to focus and explain everything. Slowly. No, there's no time. We must do something. It's been way too long. You have to help me. She's hysterical. I should medicate her? Bruh. It's like, calm down. We're gonna comfort her. Slava, I'm here for you. I can see something bad has happened, but that's about all I understand. Please, let me help you. Try to calm down and tell me exactly what the problem is. But there's no time to talk. We need to act. Those are your nerves talking. Take a deep breath and think. When a problem arises, the medication surprises. Take a deep breath and think. You came to tell me something, didn't you? You're right. Not making any sense, am I? It's perfectly fine. You're obviously very upset. Oh, gods. I need your help, Doctor. It's about Lev. Is he sick? No, I mean, apart from his usual condition. But I don't know where he is. He's missing, Doctor. I haven't seen him in 10 days. He's never been gone so long before. 10 days? You waited 10 days to report a missing person? Well, that's quite suspicious. It's either super suspicious or extremely irresponsible. What do you mean before? This isn't the first time he's gone missing? No. Does it happen often? From time to time. Because of Kala, you know, it's his obsession. Once every couple of weeks he'll vanish, but he always comes back after a few days. It's always the same story afterwards. When I ask him where he was, all he says is that he went on a secret expedition. And that he's getting closer. Closer? Closer to what? Kala. The cursed thing. You'll have to help me with this. I'm still new here. Kala. Lev used that word a lot. It's some kind of treasure? Yes? For some, perhaps. For him, it's everything. It's pure evil, that thing. It ate at him until there was nothing left but a shadow of the man he used to be. I see. Slava, it sounds like you should be talking to the guards, not to me. Even if I felt confident enough to begin treatment of a patient suffering from mania, which I don't, I would first have to be able to talk to him. And since he's missing, I don't want you to treat him, Doctor. I want you to figure out what happened to him. What? What now? I'm sorry, but this really is a business for the city guard. Casilla? Ha! He won't help. What? But why? He knows my husband too well, Doctor. He'll tell me to wait until Lev comes back like he always does. Oh, I can't say I don't understand, but that doesn't give the captain of the guard the right to simply ignore that a person is missing. Doesn't give him the right? Dear Doctor, you obviously don't know him well. But did you try talking to him before coming to me? I didn't, because I know exactly what he'll say. I came to you first. Do you understand now? Everyone knows Lev is a crazy old man, lost inside his own broken mind. They don't treat him the way you treat normal people. Even the guard. I see. So it's better to ask the outsider. The Doctor. You vowed to help others, didn't you? Within the scope of my skills, yes. I'm afraid this goes beyond my reach, Slava. But I can try speaking with the captain of the guard and making him listen. That won't help you, I told you! Oh, Doctor, you must promise me you'll look for him. Only you can find him. Blames Lev's obsession with Kala for his disappearance. Let's see. How should I help her? I will only talk to the guard. We could go to the guard together. I promise I'll look for him. I'll talk to the guard, you crazy old bitch. Should we try to get the guard involved? Or not? Part of me thinks she's being irrational. But then again, I can't know. Right? Because I just got here. It's his job, not your problem. I mean, you are right. I'm not an investigator. I'm a doctor, not a detective. Here, we'll split the difference and we can go to the guard together. Why don't we go together? Maybe he'll be more responsive to the pleas of 2 citizens. Citizens? Dear doctor, you are very far away from home. No, he won't do a thing. I don't think going together is a good idea. Pushing doesn't work with Kasaya. I've known him long enough to see that. Yeah, I need to water my plants. Don't you see? They don't stay green by themselves. But thank you for doing this for me. Going there for me because I'm in trouble. People don't do things like that in this city. That's alright, Slava. Maybe it's a good thing I'm still an outsider then. It certainly is. Goodbye, Doctor. Goodbye, Slava. Yeah. Oh. Yanni, I'm going out. Feel free to use anything you need. Just not the vials on the desk, alright? Fine, Doctor. A week ago, she was on the brink of death. Now she's yelling like a drunken fish trader. Bless her. Let's hope poor Lev is in equally good condition. Hello, Captain. Dr. Gallen, hello. Has true winter already gotten into you? Excuse me. That's an expression we use here when the silent season comes. Being cut off from the world, surrounded by deadly blizzards, makes some people uncomfortable. Especially if it's their first time. Is that why almost everybody leaves for the dead season? The concept still fascinates me. That's part of it, but believe me, it's more mundane than you think. The city is built on the merchant families and their business. Dead season makes trade impossible, so they either travel to restock or retire to their winter residences. I think I passed a few of those on my way here. But what about the commoners? What commoners? Here you're either someone important or you work for someone who is. Families take their retainers with them. They only leave those whose jobs are absolutely essential. Mine is to make sure these people are safe. Funny you should mention your job. That's exactly what brought me here. Really, Doctor? My job. Have you some words of advice? Do you realize Lev is missing again? Slava didn't even go to him this time, so probably not a... It's probably... But doesn't make any sense. For him now. Do you realize Lev is missing again? Do you know anything about it? I just spoke with Slava the innkeeper. She was upset, even hysterical, because her husband's disappeared again. Slava, hysterical? That's odd. Has she told you it's happened before? She did. But she also said he's been gone much longer than usual. How long? 10 days. I see. Do you have any idea what might have happened to him? How would I know? Lev's paths and the logic that governs them are a mystery to all. It's difficult enough just to follow his words. Insanity is hardly rare in this city. The rest of us are just better at hiding it. Spend more time here and I'm sure you'll learn to appreciate it. Why aren't you going to look for him then? Isn't this part of your job? Thanks for the advice. After just 2 weeks, you're an expert on this city and all its dwellers. Looks like true winter has treated you very well indeed. What's that supposed to mean? The first true winter in the city is usually the hardest. People find different ways to cope with the stress and the boredom. I see you get bored rather quickly. I can't believe I'm hearing this. Relax, Doctor. There's no need for aggression. Why are you so eager to help Slava and Lev anyway? Wow, rude. You literally have nothing to do, man. How far could he even go? quite literally a giant dome around the entire city. He can't have gone far. Right? Let me guess. You're fresh out of the academy, or whatever they call the place you studied at, and you can't wait to change the world for the better. Is this how you always talk, or am I getting a special welcome package? Calm, good doctor. When people find themselves with too much spare time on their hands, good conversational skills become a necessity. And how about helping a woman whose husband is missing? Did you ever get to meet Lev? Yes. He came to me one evening. I treated him. Then you must have realized he was suffering from a severe condition. An obsession. Kala, yes. Slava told me. Did she also tell you why they came to the city? Before he became the empty shell he is now, Lev used to be a scholar, an archaeologist. They came here looking for treasure. The treasure. Found only disappointment and poverty. Slava did fairly well, but Lev lost himself forever. Or maybe he found a new path. One much more solitary. Who knows? So his mania is chronic. Is that why you refused to look for him? You thought him a lost cause? No. I refused for two reasons. One, I never believed Lev was in any danger and assumed he would turn up on his own each time. Two, I was always convinced that if she truly wanted to, Slava could find her husband with no trouble. Those are two very bold assumptions to make for an officer of the law. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine a police officer getting a missing persons report and being like, well, I'm sure this guy who's, clearly insane, we'll just make it back. He'll be back. It's like, no, you can't just do that. You can't just assume that he'll come back. Are you kidding me? This guy blows. This guy's the worst guard ever. So you're saying there's no danger and Slava knows where Lev is? He is the law, so if he doesn't want to do anything and assume, then that is the law. The law here kinda sucks. Quite the opposite, Doctor. I'm sorry, you've lost me there. You did say Slava was hysterical when she came to you? Yes, it took me a while to talk her down. That's unlike her. When she came to inform me about Lev's disappearances in the past, she was calm. Maybe she was hiding her fear? No, Doctor. I've known her for a few years, and I can tell you she has no need to play tough or hide her emotions in front of others. Quite the contrary. People respect her. Some even fear her because of her openness. The sincere tears of a fearful wife wouldn't harm her image. But there were none. She showed no emotion whatsoever. Really. Today she seemed mad with grief. Which would mean things are different. She's actually afraid for his safety, because this time she has no idea where he is. That's what I was trying to tell you, you kumquat. Why would she be afraid? I haven't got a clue. Maybe she's afraid Lev left the city and froze to death? That's one of about 1,000 possibilities, yes. Well, your hypothesis about what caused Slava's hysterics is just that, a hypothesis. If this bothers you so much, why not ask Slava yourself about her change of heart? I'd rather ask why you aren't bothered that Lev seems to be actually missing this time. I trust he can take care of himself. He literally can't. He cannot take care of himself. You know that he's insane. You know that he's crazy. People like that shouldn't be left to their own devices. Or at the very least, shouldn't be unsupervised. This Kasaya guy is pretty suspicious. The man you described was completely mad a few minutes ago. Yeah, see, Gallon knows what's up. Precisely. I trust him because of his madness. But I can tell you're not What are you talking about? But I can tell you're not satisfied with my answer. I'm not. Why don't you try and look for him yourself? Why would I want to do your job for you? Oh, I think you've already started your own little investigation. Oh, I think you've already started your own little investigation. Enjoying it, aren't you? He's right, I am enjoying this. Anything to kill 10. And somebody has to do your job. I'm taking care of it, since you don't seem to want to do what you're being paid for. Wait, you want me to do my job? How about I tell you that this crazy guy doesn't need any help, so I can get back to not giving a... Yeah, he doesn't need any help, surely, he's fine. I'm taking care of it, since you don't seem to want to do what you're being paid for. Here we go again. Where will you begin your search? Right here, of course. I'm gonna ask the most informed people around. Well, Captain, who do you think I should speak to first? Slava is the obvious choice. But if she's hiding something, you're assuming she is? Her behavior doesn't make sense. You should talk to someone who may know more about her. Maybe a close friend? No, a friend would be biased. Talk to Constance. She's been around for a very long time. Don't tell her I told you that. She knows a lot about everybody. Okay. But there's another clue, isn't there? Lev's obsession with Kala may be important. Who can I talk to about that? Anybody and everybody. We all have our theories about Kala. If you want to learn about Lev's, talk to Yakone. The Northern Caravan pilot? She's not very talkative. She likes to keep to herself and seems harsh at times, but she's quite an exceptional young woman, Doctor. Lev talked about Kala with her. Really? Who would have thought? Thanks for the advice. Well, she's a native around here, or at least comes from a native family, so she might know something. She might know a little bit more about ancient treasures. No problem. Good luck, Doctor. Thank you, Captain. You'll need it. This will be interesting. Who should I talk to? Wait, I want to see Who should I talk to? Should I talk to Constance about... what was her name? Should I talk to Constance about Slava? Or should I talk to Yakone about Kala? The hot babe? I mean... you could mean either of them. I mean, honestly. Which information is more valuable, though? It's probably a better idea to try to figure out what Kala is. Because that'll give us an idea of where to look, right? Although Slava could be hiding something, and he actually hasn't gone missing, and is like in her basement or something. So, that'd be good to know. Plus, I don't like how Constance advances upon me. She's a little bit thirsty. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I just got here. Or Gallon just got here, rather. Already hitting on him. Probably, you know what, probably a good idea to, like, get to the root of this. The only witness we have is Slava, if you could call her a witness. So we should probably get more information on her, right? Kone's playing hard to get, which is a good sign she wants to... I don't know, both of these are valid options. If this was a real investigation, we'd want to find leads first, right? Figure out the whereabouts. If we hit a dead end, then we can always talk to Slava later. Kyle would be more important. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about too. You think Slava would know about what Kala is, though? Right. Let's talk to you, Kone. Hey, Kone. I was hoping I'd catch you here. Looks like you did. I hope I'm not bothering you. Do you want something from me? Actually, yes, I do. Then you are bothering me. But people bother each other all the time, don't they? Let me guess. You want to ask about something. That's a pretty broad guess, Yakone. You're probably gonna be right, like 90% of the time. Is it that obvious? Do I have it written all over my face? Southerners are as easy to read as children. Ask away. All right. Did you know Lev is missing again? I'm not surprised. I haven't seen him since the night he was beaten up. The night he was... Spirits! Now that's expressive, even for your people. I just realized something. I met him the night he was beat up. And that was the night he vanished. Yes, I asked him to visit you. He wasn't eager about it, but I told him bleeding wouldn't help him on his quest. So you saw him that night as well? He passed me on his way to the bank district, where the rich folk live. On his way back, he was bruised and bloody. Which is how he was when I saw him. I thought the bank district was off limits to all except the merchants. Unless you have an invitation. Or what? Nothing. You need a fancy piece of paper or a big bag of money to get in. The poor sod didn't have either. So he was attacked? By whom? You're a bit slow, even for a newcomer. The Istvan's guards. Can't blame them, either. They are fed up with his snooping and trespassing and whatnot. He was caught trespassing in the bank district? So...
They've given him warnings before. Even the old man has. That night the guards lost their temper. Or maybe the old man did. But if it was so risky, why would he go there in the first place? You talked to him, right? Then you know the man's soul has been eaten through by hunger. For Kala. That's what Southerners call it. Northerners have another name for it? Of course, we know its true name. You people gave it a stupid word that means nothing to make it more mysterious. Since all you're good at is taking things for yourselves, you imagine it's some kind of magical wish-granting toy. The Gimp Club dungeon? Oh, man. We're still running with that theory? Why is she so rude for no reason? I'm beginning to get the impression you don't like me because I'm not from her. I'm beginning to get the impression that you don't like me because I'm not from around here. Little racist. Don't be stupid. Nobody in the whole city is from around here. Demons. The city itself isn't from around here. They built it to stand out like a bad joke. A slap in the face to all of the North. You must truly come from far away if you didn't know that. Tell me, what's your name again? Gallon. All right, Gallon. Let's imagine Kala really is a toy that can give you anything you wish for. You only have to ask. But you may only use a single word. What's your wish? She's gonna make fun of me no matter what I say. Pleasure, duh. I wish for pleasure. Any man's wish. I don't like any of these options. We'll go with pleasure. Pleasure. Living has little charm with all the suffering we experience. Pleasure is the best countermeasure. Did I just rhyme? Ha! You may be old, but you have a young soul. I like that. But enough games. You want to know more about the big secret? Then pay attention, it's all very simple. A long time ago, all of the North belonged to my people, including this place. Especially this place. This was your city? Don't be so dense. There was no city. There was an oasis, a patch of land without ice and snow that had lots of shallow caves, and in them, hot springs. My people are born and buried among snow and ice. We have no need for great comforts, but for my ancestors, this was a very special place. But you didn't settle here. It was decided there was no need for us to hide underground if we could sleep under the stars. But travelers were allowed to stop here on their way across the ice desert. Okay, interesting societal choice. To have like these beautiful oasis hot springs available to you and just choose not to live in them. They returned to their homes with strange tales about the air, the water, and the warmth, how it would twist their dreams and send them visions. Wise men and women were sent here to study the cause. They experienced their own visions and declared the oasis holy. Then why'd they build a city here? This place was special for Southerners too. They knew it was the only haven in the ice desert, and they were eager to send their trade caravans through to the north. Caves wouldn't do it for them. They needed an entire city. So they came, claimed this land, and erected their bloody palaces and towers. They put their metal pipes through the ground and into the springs, made them run through the walls to warm the entire city. They didn't care that it was sacred. Your people allowed it? We didn't know how to fight. In the snow, it makes no sense to kill others. You may need their help later on. We only knew how to hunt. But the wise people studied the ways of the oasis and learnt the Southerners' plans before their arrival. They were prepared. They performed rituals to tangle the currents and slow the water, to make it cool over time. Yet the city still stands, prosperous and, well, warm. Were the rituals ineffective? Oh no, they worked fine. But the Southerners had lots of money. They hired their own wise people who came and quickened the waters. Bruh. Bruh, imagine going through all this trouble to curse the land. They just order a wizard off of Wish to counter curse it. That blows. For them, anyway. They built all that you see now. They even planted trees and flowers. Flowers! In the north. And that's the whole story. Thanks for telling me. Look on the bright side. Strong always dominate the weak, eh? Bruh. Read the room. Look on the bright side probably isn't a good thing to say to somebody whose native people got, like, destroyed. I'll say sorry. That's terrible. I'm sorry your people have suffered. Guess that explains your distrust towards strangers. You being sorry doesn't change a thing. Yeah, we're all very sorry. So what? The city's here and it's only getting richer. It's not like they're going to move out tomorrow. There's no point in discussing these old stories. You got your answer. Okay. Okay, Yakone. We're just trying to be nice. What answer? Didn't even mention Kala in your tale. Oh. I see. It's the place itself. Or the water, or the visions, or maybe magic, something like that. Whatever it is, it has little to do with what people like you imagine it to be. That's what I've been telling Lev, but he probably just heard what he wanted to hear. That's his favorite way to listen. Wait, so what is it actually called? Does it not have a name? The place certainly has to have a name, right? He wanted to learn about the lore of your people and use it to find Kala? Everything he ever does has the same goal. But... Yes? But what? He was asking about magic. About things you can do with the waters. You mean the kind of magic your people used on the hot springs here? Curses and rituals? I guess. Those stories, that's probably where he got the idea in the first place. I told him they were just folk tales, and that I'm not a magician. Did he believe you? Who knows? It's difficult to say what he believes. Anyway, why are you so interested in Lev? You didn't even know him. His wife asked me to look for him, and he was also my patient, though only for a minute or two. If Slava is so worried, why doesn't she ask the old man? I bet he knows where Lev is. You mean Istvan? The rich geezer, yes. But I thought he was the man in charge here. Can someone really just go and start asking questions? Depends on who you are, but I've talked enough. Go away. I want to be alone. Alright. Thanks for telling me all this, by the way. I really appreciate it. Yeah, whatever. I need to get back to my tent. Cap. Behave. See you later, Yakone. Gets it time to ask Slava a few questions. Dr. Glenn, I'm so glad to see you again. Do you have any news about Lev? I got some information, yes. I've also heard some things that were apparently public knowledge that you forgot to mention. What do you mean? You haven't been honest with me, Slava. We need to be open about this. How to approach this? Compassionate persuasion, firm demand, or lighthearted remark? Let's see. Considering the situation and Slava's, like, personality, I feel like maybe being firm is the way to go. What do you think, chat? Cap, come on. Can you try to keep it in your pants, Cap? Come on. Seriously. I mean, probably not TOS. I hope. Try to calm down a little bit. How can you expect me to help you when you insist on keeping me in the dark? If I'm to continue this investigation, don't you think I deserve to know what others already seem to know? It's only fair. I don't know what others have told you, but you shouldn't believe everything you hear. My conscience is clear. I told you what I know. You have no reason to doubt me. I see. So, it's a lie that this is the first time you've been so concerned about Lev's disappearance? I've heard it's never bothered you before. People were quite surprised by how upset you were today. Why are you asking me this? Are you investigating Lev's disappearance or my emotional well-being? I can't believe it. I thought you were a reasonable man. I thought you knew the difference between fact and ugly rumor. I expected more of you. Enough. Did you know your husband was beaten by Istvan's guard the night he vanished? I did. Istvan told me. You heard this from Istvan? I never expected he would actually do it. He came to me that night. Istvan's guards didn't go easy on him. You knew this whole time? I knew he could be a ruthless man, but he's changed so much. Spirits. The way you talk about him. What exactly is your relationship with Istvan? He's my employer. I'm bound by compact to his will. Compact? You're right. You really don't know the basics. It's a form of contract that basically makes you the holder's slave. What? Why would you sign that? Everyone in the city has to sign a compact with the bank, and that used to mean Istvan. Why would you live here? I thought the merchants governed everything. The families are always fighting each other. Istvan's family is the strongest. it's effectively in charge. Before he retired, Istvan ruled the city with an iron fist. His word was law. When the merchants left for the winter, they left him as a caretaker, which gives him all the power there is. So he's the only authority now, since he has his guards with him. He can do whatever he wants, just like his ruling days. You seem to know him well. Let me ask you once more. What's your relationship with Istvan? He is my employer and my lover. Dang. Thank you for your honesty. What kind of job do you do for him? I'm bound by my compact never to reveal it. I can't tell you anything. I can only report to him. Report? You're collecting information for him? I understand. No, Doctor, you don't understand half of it. I can see this is difficult for you, Slava, but I need to ask you something else. Ikone told me Lev was asking her about magic. Do you know why? He's ill. He can't think straight. He'd believe anything he thinks can help him find his treasure. She's about to snitch on you? Yeah, I can kind of feel that happening. So I imagine Ikone would be able to help him with magic. His imagination. It's the source of his madness, Doctor. He can no longer tell truth from his own fantasies. All right. I could ask you more, but I have a feeling you won't tell me anything new. You're stubborn, Slava, you know that? I'm the innkeeper in the city of secrets and lies. Speaking too much goes against my trade. I also believe that if you remember anything important, you'll tell me without my asking. I may not know you well, but I can usually tell when people are lying to me. You've told me all that you could. Thank you for your understanding, Doctor. Please, Slava, call me Galen. All right. Thank you, Galen. Listen, there's one more thing I need to tell you before you go. I thought so. What is it, Slava? Here. Take this. Oh. I really thought she was going in for the stab. What is this? A book? Lev's diary, the most recent one. He put all his clues and hypotheses in it. He kept it hidden from me, but I've always known he had it. If you want to know why I'm so worried, it's because of this. He would never willingly leave it behind. It's his most precious possession. Frankly, it's his only possession. Yet he left it, and this never happened before? Lev's memory is perfect when it comes to Kala. He gathered immense knowledge on the topic, even if most of it is myth and rumor. But when it comes to everyday life, he's a child. Helpless and forgetful. Ah, interesting. The diary is protected. Yes, it's locked. I don't know where the key is. My guess is that Lev has it. No, I didn't mean the physical lock, although having the key would certainly help. I just hope it'll help you find my husband before something terrible happens. I have the worst suspicions. Something bad is happening in this city. Spirit! Constance, what happened? Dr. Galen, I need your help. Oh. She fainted. Uh-oh. Well, something bad just happened. Should I be taking screenshots? I should, shouldn't I? I forgore. At first, I had no idea where I was. Oh, I guess this is from the perspective of Constance. At first, I had no idea where I was. The doctor told me I spent the last 2 weeks in bed, feverish and weak. He said I almost died. What's going on?
There's like 10 people in the city.
It took me a while, but eventually... Oh, this is not Constance. This is, crap. I haven't memorized all the names yet. It took me a while, but eventually memories flooded my mind. Struggling with the blizzard, trying to traverse the icy desert, the biting frost, and the warmth and sleepiness that followed. By some bizarre coincidence, I was found by the last sleigh caravan en route to the city. The fact that it was carrying a skilled healer bordered on the impossible. But what matters is that I survived and reached my destination. When I was finally strong enough to get out of bed, I learned 2 things. First, the doctor was very inquisitive, and second, he was very busy. It seemed that, despite the dead season, the city teemed with schemers. And since I had a few secrets of my own, I had to be cautious. Oh, what is this? It's like a moan? Like a... What? Where am I? A simple bed, a desk, some wooden panels. If this was the afterlife, I'd be very disappointed. I guess this means I managed to reach the city. I thought I was a goner. So we've gone back in time. Merciful chances this hurts. Frostbite? The next time the chancellor asks me to reach a destination no matter the cost, I'll have a different answer for her. I'd like to see her move her tush through a frozen wasteland. If she were missing a piece or two by the end, it would be if she was missing a piece or two by the end, it would be an improvement. But as long as I am here, I should get to work. Oddly enough, this place doesn't look as if it's in dire need. But I guess if it did, it would be too late. Someone's coming. This is an opportunity to eavesdrop and see what's been happening. I need to know as much as possible. A spy? Though eavesdropping isn't the first impression for the person who probably saved my life. I'm a spy, I think. I think Yanni is a spy. Let's pretend to be asleep. If I'm to work efficiently, I need as much information as possible. If he has nothing to hide, no harm will come from my snooping around. And if he does have secrets, he's the one to blame. This is curious. The town seems peaceful, as if everything is fine apart from my plants. I need a different approach. You need a different approach too, my silent friend. I can tell you've defrosted and are almost back to full health. I was the one to heal you, you know. Gallons seem to have a hidden agenda. What did I say? I can tell you defrosted and almost back to full health. I was the one to heal you, you know. Still no reaction? I can hear you breathing faster than any sleeping person would. How about you stop pretending and say hello? You're vigilant for a doctor. You're lively for someone in a coma. Have you got a name, or should I address you as the Frozen One? My name is Yanni. How long was I out? Almost 2 weeks. Now, that's no reason to look so sad. You're extremely lucky to be alive. Yes, thank you for that. It's not me you should be thanking, actually. Our caravan pilot spotted you in the snow almost a day's journey from the gates. Wearing masking colors was not one of your best ideas. Although traversing a frozen desert on foot easily takes the cake. I was traveling with what was supposed to be the last caravan. About halfway there, the pilot concluded true winter came earlier than expected and decided to turn back. And you stayed behind during a raging blizzard. So what brings you here anyway? A well-paying job repairing the city, if such a need arises. What you do for the people here, I am supposed to do for the city. You traveled all this way to become a janitor. How curious. When you hide skeletons in your home's foundation, you knock on others' walls, they say. I think they're right. What are you implying? And who in the spirit's realm would ever say that? It's an old saying from my land, but I'm not implying anything. Merely stating that I have nothing to hide, just like you, right? I guess both your job and mine are important enough to include us in the city's winter skeleton crew. There's not much to do here. We'll have many long evenings to chat about every... Hey, don't touch that! I'm sorry, I'm really thirsty and this tea smells so nice. I thought the herbs I healed you with can make your mouth a bit dry. Just drink plenty of water. And please, don't touch these vials. They're dangerous. In untrained hands, these herbs and their juices can do more harm than good. I'm beginning to suspect tempting fate is your hobby. And what would you think about a doctor who can't keep his quarters clear of deadly traps? You haven't told me much about yourself, so I have to go off of what I can observe. Right now, the only thing I'm certain of is the state of your frostbite. It's fine, by the way. I have to say, I'm impressed. You seem to have recuperated completely. I'm happy to say my work here is done. And this is where he said this before, hasn't he? Yeah, okay. This is where Crazy Man bursts back in. What is his name? Lev. I'm glad to hear that, Doctor. I'm very eager to get back to normal life. You should check your head, though. An attempt to get to the city on foot is close to suicidal, even in the summer. Whatever made you try something so dangerous must have been very important. I would be lying if I said I'm not curious. Nice to know someone finds me interesting. You almost died to get here. If that's not interesting, I don't know what is. Oh, this is when Slava knocks on the door. Doctor Gallon, are you there? What the? Sounds like an emergency, Doctor. I'd best leave you with your patient. The doctor seemed nice enough, if a bit restless. He stormed out after one of his patients asked him to look for her drunk husband or something, leaving me to myself. At first, I wanted to wait for him to come back, but as hours passed, I realized this wasn't the most productive way to spend my time. I was feeling surprisingly well, so I decided to stretch my legs and visit the fabled Merchant District, especially since there was someone I needed to meet if I was to continue with my mission. I've always wanted to see the work of the old masters. The way this city functions is supposed to be a miracle. State-of-the-art systems, built with knowledge now almost forgotten. I expected it to look differently, to be honest. More regal. Oh, good morning. If you say so. Can I help you? Are you lost? I'm looking for the person in charge, the current head of the families. I've heard this year he stayed for the whole true winter. You heard wrong. Istvan is the one who stayed, but he resigned from his post already. Officially, he's just a retired old man with a bad attitude. Are you sure? They wouldn't leave the city without a designated overseer. Well, he's the only member of the families present, and it's not like he can't take a seat back. I guess that makes him the overseer. Walls have ears here, and they all report to Istvan. Sounds like the person I need to see. My, you have a lot of guards here. Why would anyone need so many when there's so few citizens left? Family members prefer situations where they have huge advantages over others. A large number of guards and only a few of us. That's how Istvan likes it. You don't have to worry about them too much, though. They've been trained to stand and do nothing for hours. Unless, of course, you intend to do something stupid, like going into Istvan's quarters without permission. And where would I get such permission? From you, I presume? Oh no, I'm a nobody. I just answer the door. You'll need a family member to invite you up there. So I need to speak to Istvan before I get to see Istvan. Is that what you're saying? I guess so. How should I approach this? Get Istvan here now. You alright? You seem so resigned. Are you alright? Of course I'm resigned. Everyone who deals with the families breaks sooner or later. Sounds like there's a sad story in there. If you want to talk, you know. No, silly, I don't. I'm trying to warn you. The family's greed is never sated. They'll use any means to gain influence and wealth. They exploit people's weaknesses. When that fails, they threaten people into submission. Since the family's word is law, there's nothing you can do. You speak of them as if they're ruthless demons, yet the city prospers. Even the poorest houses here are luxurious and well kept. As far as I know, there hasn't been a rebellion for hundreds of years. You would expect such evil to provoke opposition, or at least unrest. I've heard of none, so forgive me if I'm skeptical. Of course nobody resists. They're too afraid. Let me give you an example. One of the young masters found a trader's daughter to be uncooperative. He cut her nose off. He said she turned her nose up to the world too much. Then he broke her father's neck, so the family would stop holding their heads up so high. The families thought nothing of it, and the man went unpunished. Those who spoke up and tried to help the traitor got a private audience with the guards. Sounds awful. And unlikely. Are you trying to scare me away with urban legends? I used to be like you. I believed in order and denied such atrocities. I had to learn the hard way how this world really works. Don't make my mistake. You don't even know me, but fine, I'll bite. What was it that happened to you? Istvan. But I've said too much. I'll fetch him for you. That's my job after all. Just be careful when you speak to him. The architecture we construct will determine boundaries for common rituals and customs. The city in the north, built for the chivalrous founding families, is a great example. Its design strengthens the possible natural tendencies their culture exhibits. So much for coming armed with knowledge. Where's this annoying visitor? One would think the dead season would be, you know, dead. Ah, you're the sick one, aren't you? Not anymore. Our good doctor got me back on my feet. I came to see you right away. You can't imagine how flattered I am. I just adore people who think my time is theirs to waste. But I don't think that's the problem with you young people. You don't think. Next time, leave your request with Laura and wait for my formal reply. Understood? You're acting like a snow flea with a rash. I walked through 7 miles of snow wasteland to get here. Appeal to ego. Hey, I risked my life to get here. Well, that wasn't very wise of you, was it? Look, I came here to help you. The city might be in trouble, and so might you. I was sent here with the Sent by whom? By the faculty. They've been monitoring the city, and it appears... Wait. If this is true, prove it to me. I might even give you some of my precious time. Tell me the password. Do we really need to go through all this? Hurry up, will you? I don't have all day. You are acting like a snow flea with a rash. The countersign? You act as if you had a rash somewhere You act as if you had a rash somewhere I can't see. Satisfied? Your dean and I had a blast when we decided on it. Oh, so the other option was just the password. I get it. Oh. Along with a bottle of something old, I'm sure. Please, can we focus on the problem now? A bigger problem than people not respecting my time? This should be good. Speak up, child. We know we monitor the city's systems. Recently, we detected a disturbance, a malfunction of sorts, in the first technical barrier of the city. You needn't bother me with the details. Is that all? Some small maintenance work? Is that all? This place was designed by faculty members with knowledge and skill many would mistake for magic. It was strengthened by people of faith in their protective rituals. This place does not simply malfunction. It hasn't done so for centuries, and it never should. Malfunctions seem to cause you distress, not a quality I would expect in a repair woman. This particular one is simply too unlikely. Moreover, when the faculty sent a colleague to examine it, he vanished. You mean Sarn? He claimed he came for a regular checkup. He was investigating a possible sabotage. The more knowledge one has about the city's systems, the more probable their involvement. He wouldn't warn a suspect. Possible sabotage. Okay. So now we know what her deal is. Yet you are spilling your guts out to me. Are you a bad investigator, or have you excluded me from the list of possible saboteurs? All my possessions were lost in the blizzard. My tools, my money, and most of my maps and blueprints. If I'm to accomplish anything, I need your help. But let's set this straight. Do you still suspect me? How should I put it? I have to suspect you? Probably not a good thing to say. I can have my suspicions without saying it outright. You don't need to worry. I know you've invested a lot in this city. I'll take that into consideration before I do anything rash. My, you're weak. You fold after but a question. Fix the city and be gone. What? Come on now. How is that not the right thing to say? Weak? What, you want me to say? Yeah, I think you did something bad. And get my head cut off or something? Something wacky and zany? Let bad people make their fortunes and good people learn their lessons. Nothing is threatening us but your imagination. Your predecessor, Sarn, didn't find anything unusual. I saw him pack up and leave, as others will no doubt confirm. Are you sure? He was last seen here. No one so much as caught a glimpse of him in camp or town or on the way back. Now I've heard another person went missing. Someone named Lev. Where is he supposed to be during the dead season? Now. Lev's an entirely different case. He has a history of vanishing mysteriously. Again, ask around. 2 people missing and a perfect mechanism malfunctioning. A coincidence like this is possible, but not probable. At the very least, it would be unwise not to look into it. I'm sure you agree. Very well, kid. Very well, kid. Go look for Lev if you think there might be some connection. You will get shelter and whatever tools we have available. I'll ask Laura to prepare a proper writ, confirming you are acting on my behalf. Thank you. I have another request, though. Control chambers were well hidden, available only to the chosen few. I'll need a complete set of plans to access them if I'm to assess what's wrong. Laura will fetch them from the library vault. You can get them tomorrow. Is there anything else you cannot handle? If there's anything else you cannot handle yourself, go bother Laura. Won't you even point me in the right direction with the investigation? It's possible that someone is trying to disrupt the city's system. Any idea where to look? If there really is something to investigate, which I doubt, you should draw your own unbiased conclusions. Right. But where should I start drawing these conclusions? Gah! Speak to Kasaya, the captain of the guard, for facts about people. If you prefer gossip and secrets of the heart, the keeper of the baths would be your best source. Her name is Constance. Thank you. Both sound like a good start. Okay, so we know that Kasaya is a total tool. And that he's completely unhelpful and doesn't want to do his job. So maybe we should talk to Constance? While we think about this, chat, I'm going to take a short break. So I'll be right back. We back? Stretch my legs a bit. Got myself a throat lozenge. I underestimated how much talking I'd be doing. I mean, it is a visual novel, so. Yanni is a straight shooter, though. Makes sense she would go talk to the captain of the guard over someone who watches other people take baths. I mean, that's true. I guess the question is, do we want to play it in character, or do we want to do what we think is a good choice? Kasaya might be helpful to someone like us, who apparently has some status. Well, we're on a secret mission, presumably. What are we looking for information on again? We're just looking for a lead, right? Yeah, I think it'd make more sense to talk to Kasaya. As much as I don't like him. Hello? Is anybody here? Just a bunch of old stories, and me. How may I help you? Are you Kasaya, the captain of the guard? What gave me away? It was the guardhouse, wasn't it? You must be Galen's mysterious patient. Good to see you back on your feet. I'm Yanni. Nice to meet you. A pleasure. What brings you here? Istvan told me you're the one who knows most about what transpires in this city. I came hoping you'd share some of that knowledge. I'm flattered, but what I meant was, what brings you to the city? Traveling on foot through a blizzard requires a certain motivation. My caravan left me. It was either walk or stay there and freeze to death. That's more than enough incentive. But right now I need information. You don't seem to be in a revealing mood, so I see no reason to reciprocate. Now then, why'd you decide to come here? For a job. I'm the city's new technician, and I'd like to know more about the previous one. And before you ask, here's a writ from Istvan himself. Let me see. Seems legitimate. I guess I'm obliged to help you. Though there's really not much to say. There was no official investigation. Sarn's stay was rather uneventful. You can see the documents I issued at the time if you want to. All 2 of them. That's not what I had in mind. Help me out, handsome donut, for your thoughts. Donut for your thoughts. What is that, like, hey, you want to go grab a donut and talk about this? I'm not in the mood for this. Help me out, handsome. I don't want him to be happy. Donut for your thoughts. A donut for your true thoughts? What are you talking about? In the land I come from, guards are a very elite group. We customarily thank them with a small pastry, symbolizing their round shields and sweet hearts. I'm gonna stay wholesome. Wasabas. Cap. The books you keep here tell me you are as wise as the guards in my land. So please, help me. I'm trying to do well by the city. Ha! That's the most ridiculous attempt at flattery I've heard in a while. I like it. You are quite different from your predecessor, I must say. I'm sorry, but so far everyone in the city has been so uncooperative when it comes to sharing information. I really need to know more about Sarn. He was hard to like. The kind of person that manages to offend everyone. If there was an uncomfortable subject, he was bound to touch it. Yes, he was charming as a dead wisent. So you knew him? Not personally. I heard about a couple of his performances. Like telling a lady that she resembled the masterpiece of Yalin. Her pale, flat surface and deeply carved wrinkles reminded him of the elaborate furniture you see. Sounds about right. Constance took him under her wing and tried to teach him manners. I think she found his shortcomings amusing. I assume he had a lot of enemies. I wouldn't go as far as that. People tended to avoid him, and he didn't seem to mind. He concentrated on his work. When it was done, he took a caravan back. He sighed with relief. That's it. Are you sure he departed safely? Yes, I'm sure. I saw him leave. Why do you ask? I heard something about people going missing here. Mostly about the disappearance of someone named Lev, I think? Is this some sort of joke? You're the second person to bother me about him today. I assure you he does that often enough not to worry. Here we go again with the obstructiveness. I'm sure there's more to it. You're somewhat paranoid. Has anyone ever told you that? But I'll look into it. Lev's wife seems worried this time, and she never was before. I can't tell you what I don't know myself, however. Why are you even bothered by this? You could say that Istvan added finding Lev to my job description. Did he really? That's unusual. Why would he do that? I have no clue. He yelled at me when I tried to question him, so I didn't dare ask further. Any idea whom I should ask about Lev's disappearance? Let me think. He did what he usually does, wandering the streets. Afterwards, he probably stumbled into a place we haven't thought of yet. I guess you could start by asking people who could have seen him that night. And that would be me. But no, I didn't see him on my patrol route. A bit odd, now that I think of it. Istvan's guards are everywhere. Could they be of any help? You'd have better luck getting something out of Galen's herbs. Which reminds me, our doctor treated Lev shortly before his disappearance. You could also check with Sem. He often walks his dogs at night. Even if he didn't bump into Lev then, they spoke a lot. Okay. Your knowing nothing seems a lot of information to me. I guess I can't help it. Thank you. I guess I should go make use of what I've learned. you truly want to search for Lev, there really is something to it, I'll help you. But please, if you find any proof that Lev is in trouble, come back and let me know. Will you? Can I make such a promise? I really can't make any promises. Not that I could even, like, rely on this guy to help if he was in trouble. I'm sorry, but you know as well as I that one can only either gather information or spread it. You can't do both efficiently. I understand. I'll still help you out as much as I can. And this one will be a just ruler. We can all live peacefully ever after. Remember this conversation when you choose to hide something from me. I hope the next time we meet we'll have no reason to doubt each other then. Thank you for your time, Kasaya. Good luck, Yanni. Hope your search for Lev will disappoint you with a boring ending where he comes back on his own. I hope so too. Until next time. Oh, I have no choice. I have to talk to Dogman. I hope they won't bite. That depends. Oh, what I do this guy's voice as? That depends. Who are you? Right. Hello, I'm Yanni. I'm the city's new technician. Good day, Yanni. I'm afraid there's nothing for you to fix in the kennels. Yeah, here I am. You're Sam, right? That's what they call me. Why are you here if it's not about maintenance? People don't visit me very often. Can't say I have many regrets about it. Wasn't Lev a frequent guest? So that's what this is about. In a way, you could say he was. Elaborate, please. I've noticed people in the city have this weird habit of holding on to what they know as if it was their dearest treasure. He wasn't my guest. He came here because of the dogs. Oh? I thought you were friends, or at least on friendly terms. People assume that we were because we both shun company, but that is where the similarities end. I see. Well, you two must have spoken, at least occasionally. I told you, neither of us is a people person. I'm a dog person. He's lost in himself. Still, you spent hours with him. You must know something that could help me find him. What did he do when he was here? Lev came here often. If he didn't speak, then what did he do? He just played with the dogs? Or an extremely cryptic. Except for that one native caravan driver. Odd. Yeah, that is kind of... Well, she's not from here. Alright, she's not... Well, actually, yes, she is. Yeah, I mean, she seems like the most genuine, open person so far. Reluctant to give information, but she gave it. You know. Lev came... Pretty much. He got them tired. Loosened their discipline. Encouraged them to jump, tug, fetch things. The dogs liked it. I was not a fan. Why did you allow it? You must have heard stories about Lev. He was obsessed with the idea and spoke mostly to himself. Babbled, I should say. With the dogs, he calmed down. seemed almost normal. It was as happy as Lev could get nowadays.
Wholesome.
I didn't like it, but denying him those bits of sanity would have been cruel.
I see.
Do you remember anything else that could help me find him? Why don't you just wait for him to come back? I heard it's been almost 2 weeks since he went missing. His wife is worried. Please. I saw him 10 days ago or so, as I was walking my dogs. He was even less coherent than usual. No wonder, though. He looked as if he'd been run over by a sleigh. It didn't occur to you to help him? Would you let me finish? Lev came from Gallen's greenhouse. I assumed the doctor wouldn't let him go if there was any real danger.
Okay.
But you said he wasn't lucid. As usual in his case, he looked badly beaten, but my main worry was the dogs. Lev has a bad influence on them. He even taught them to lie. Lie? Yes, they've become outright deceptive. Huh. I didn't intentionally peg you as someone to be fooled by a madman-trained puppy. Please stop making that face. I'm just playing with you. Your dogs seem to like it, though. They're not mine. I care for them, but they belong to the families. And of course they liked Lev. Just as children who like the grandparents who spoil them. I can see it's a sensitive issue for you. Lev didn't understand them. He harmed the pack. It drove me mad. When he's away, my work is much easier. So forgive me if I'm not helpful. I don't pay much attention to what happens outside of my kennels, and I'd rather not get involved. Take your investigation elsewhere. Wait. How do I coax him into telling me more? Flattery? He doesn't seem like the kind of person to be swayed by flattery. He'll listen to reason, though. I understand your need for solitude, but think about it. We're cut off from the entire world for the winter, protected only by a thin barrier. Lev was unstable and obviously up to something. If his plans concerned the city, wouldn't you want to know? Judging by his frequent disappearing acts, there might be a secret exit somewhere. Fine. This might be nothing, but... Yes? Lev smelled. Excuse me? The dog smelled something on him. He acted strangely, even for himself, and it wasn't just the beating that caused it. You mean he could have ingested a drug of some sort? Another wrinkle. Oh, you know what? He did ingest something, cause what is it? I want to say Gerald. Gallen? Gallen gave him like medicine or something before he left. No idea. He could have. I don't mean to be rude, but it's feeding time. Routine is important to the dogs. I see they have gotten used to it. I'll let myself out. Just one more thing before I go. Why'd you give up on people? No, that's not very relevant, is it? Could dogs be used to track Lev? Now that's what I want to know. Sam, one more thing. Do you think we could use your dogs to track... Do you think we could use your dog to track Lev? Probably not. There are too many of us leaving trails in such a small area. They'd run in circles. You'd have to find something rare for that to work. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. Don't worry about it. See you soon, Sam. When I heard Slava's frightened voice speaking with Galen, I didn't think she could run such a successful business. It's so lively in here. Back home, places like this were cultural centers. Here, I'll probably be lucky if I get some beer and greasy food. Damn. Calm down. Hello, Yanni. Nice to see you're back to health. Pardon me, but do we know each other? How many newcomers do you think we get during the dead season? I'm Slava. I'm sorry I couldn't greet you properly, but we're crowded tonight and my kitchen staff has left for the true winter. I need to make sure there's enough stew and beer for everyone. Oh, don't worry about it. The smell enough is enough to make me feel welcome. Food tastes better when you enjoy it in the company of others. Pick a table to join. I'll bring you something to eat in a minute. Very well then. There's a free spot at Laura's table, though we may have gone off on the wrong foot. I think Slava was sitting with Laura as well. I haven't had the chance to speak to her about her husband yet, so now may be a good time. There's a second free stool there, right next to... Isn't she the caravan driver? I think she's drinking with the captain of the guard. I owe her my thanks, and it might be interesting to hear her thoughts. Who should we talk to? I mean, I don't really have much else to say to Laura, but I don't have much else to say to... What is the guard's name? Kirlia? Cassia? I feel like I'm on... Oh, it isn't hot. The pilot is. It's obvious. Yeah, I feel like I'm on Laura's... Well, I'm not on Laura's bad side, but I feel like she doesn't like me very much. And the guard doesn't like me very much either, though. But I do owe the pilot a thank you. So... You must be Akone, the caravan driver. Thank you. What for? You saved my life when you found me in the snow. I owe you much more than thanks, but let's start with that. Oh, you owe me nothing. And contrary to what those idiots in the tribes would say, I am not responsible for you. Aren't you from the tribes? You dress after their fashion? Yakone is in her rebellious stage, young, brilliant, and ready to attack anything you say. That's a load of crap. See? It's nice to see you again, Cassia. Likewise. Have you found the answers you were looking for? Have you found Lev? Touché. But I see you found the most important thing, Slava's porridge. Come sit with us, grab a beer. At night, the winds sing louder and the dome hums a tune. As the snow grows thicker on the walls, it soaks up more and more of our hope. So we gather and drink to return the warmth. Wait for the tides to turn after Solstice passes. You can feel the mood already, can't you? Solstice? They said the name of the game, guys. Never been good at small talk. Anything new on Lev? Of course there isn't. It's been like minutes. How'd you end up here? Anything interesting in the dead season? How'd you end up here? So, how come you chose to get locked up here? Oh, that's rich. That's the question you never ask in this city. Plans for the future? Sure. One can always lie or get all dreamy. The present? It's nice to gossip and debate. But what compelled someone to sign a compact? That story is usually painful. Sometimes even shameful. Oh, I hadn't realized. I'm sorry. Don't be. Only cowards are ashamed of their choices. I came here on an assignment. I saw how strong and efficient this city was. It was my own decision to shun the teachings of my tribe and learn from those who had more to offer. Nature intended the strong to win. I see no shame in surviving. Do you regret that decision, even a little? She won't admit it, but she does. I've seen you stare at the western snow when you think no one's looking, Yukone. Stop your nonsense, Kasaya. I suppose you consider yourself wise. Good thing your word doesn't matter here. Luckily, it still matters more than yours. You'd only give voice to brutal force. I told you the tyranny of the fittest is never a good idea. Oh? Who should have a say then? Those crazy bastards obsessing over Kala? Locals are no better. They want— wait. Was that the wrong voice? No, it wasn't. They want magic to guide them. It's just weakness wrapped in superstition. You can't know that for sure. Are you blind? Even the mystical Kala was created by the families. They had the means to force most citizens into obedience, but some still resisted. This was their solution. A myth to give hope. An idea to distract the wisest from feeding their ideas to the crowd. It motivated, addicted, gave purpose. A tool crafted out of empty tales. An interesting theory. Your tribes believe Kala is real, Yukone. A force of nature, they say. Some scholars even claim it's a crystal with unusual properties. I also heard an herbalist saying Kala is nothing but a word, conveying huge power to those who know how to unlock it. You don't truly believe the implausible tales he tells, do you? Such things do not exist. Tell him. I don't know. I have little knowledge on this. But you do have an opinion, don't you? Do I believe the otherworldly stories? Well, I mean, she does, right? She knows how it works, how the barrier works. It's a magic barrier, isn't it? So, I mean, I'd be surprised if you didn't believe in magic. If I can't be certain, I have to keep my eyes open and prepare for every possibility. It's stupid to rule something out without proper evidence. Not you too. I'll tell you another story then. One my tribe is sure of. You know how the winter solstice is coming. They say it's a feminine season. Only wise women can perform rituals and lead the tribe at this time. A man would go insane, as the power waking now is female. Only women are able to harness it. Why are you preaching something you don't believe? Because by this logic, our Kasaya is wrong, even mad, and you should both listen to my feminine wisdom, at least until summer comes. I'm telling you right now, none of these tales are true. Only a fool would believe them. So what was Lev's tale? What did he believe in? He was a respected professor who read one book on Kala too many. So someone with a trained mind and vast knowledge on the subject believed Kala was real after all. Kala is an obsession, a disease some are prone to. And what you are doing seems awfully similar. Curiosity about Kala, steering conversations towards it. Are you feeling well, Yanni? I get it. Let's not ask questions. Why don't we remain in the Stone Age while we're at it? Fine, I'll drop the subject for now. Good. Let's focus on something more important. Drinking. Cheers! Delish. That was an evening to remember. See you all in the morning. Yanni, wait. Laura? Look, I know Istvan told you to investigate Lev's case. He didn't tell me why. He never does. But never mind that. I have something you might need. What is it? There are two things, actually. The first is a bit of information, or rather, a warning. What you said back there. You are wise not to discredit any possibility. What do you mean? I too believe in the supernatural. You know what my fate cards told me? What? Be wary of the doctor. Oh no, not the doctor. Not the doctor. You mean Galen? But why? I'm sorry, but that's all I know. Just be careful, and do not trust him. Death surrounds him. It's in his destiny. What does that mean? Is he going to die? Or will it be someone close to him? I told you I don't know. Please, I just wanted to warn you and to give you this. Ba-ding! A key? What does it open? I think I know what it opens. I have no idea. And why are you giving it to me? I saw it fall out of Lev's things. He used to have 2 locked cabinets in his office back when I was still working, as well as a journal with a lock. Nowadays, he only locks his jam cupboard. I thought I should give it to you just in case. Do you want it or not? Yes. Thank you, Laura. If I can reciprocate in any way. Chances, what was that? I have no idea. Oh. I have no idea. Ancestors. There it goes again. An earthquake? Or an explosion? But it isn't possible. But that isn't possible. I think it's coming from the main square. We better move. I was worried. An entire day and I was no closer to finding Lev. It became more and more evident something must have gone wrong. Was there ever a good reason for a man to disappear from a place that had no way out? But even asking about him was interfering with a balanced system of secrets and personal goals. A system where respecting other people's privacy was the first and most important rule of conduct. I can't say I didn't enjoy disrupting the stagnant routine of the city, if only for a moment. But such small pleasures couldn't make up for the fact that I would... Wait. Dang it. I was reading in the wrong character voice. That really should tell me who's who. But small pleasures couldn't make up for the fact that I was a doctor who just lost his patient, albeit in a somewhat unconventional way. That isn't to say I didn't have chances to practice my art, though. Dude, how do you feel? How do you feel? Much better now. Thank you, Dr. Gallon. The concoction you gave me had an unusual flavor. May I ask what was in it? It tastes awful, I know. It's an old recipe from back when we used only local plants from the Isles, so you probably won't know them. It's one of the strongest tonics I know. Very universal and very useful. It was a pleasure to watch you prepare it. You are very skillful, Doctor. I wish my teachers felt the same. No, I've simply prepared this so many times I could do it with my eyes closed. Really? And why is that? Most students in the Isles learn tonics first. Otherwise, they'd flunk most exams, partying the night before, you know. I see. Your country sounds like a very nice place to call home. It is, yet most of us choose to spend half our lives traveling. Someone once told me that curiosity is what makes people grow. It inspires us to try and learn new things. Growing as human beings is all very nice, but mostly we crave adventure. Boredom kills us more effectively than wild animals. But I babble about myself while my patient is waiting for a diagnosis. Talking with travelers from distant places is one of my favorite pastimes, Doctor. Talking with? Listening to, more like. I didn't give you a chance to speak. Anyway, you show symptoms of mild anemia. It's nothing serious. A change of diet and something to strengthen your blood should be enough to put you back on your feet. I'm not surprised. It happens to me every year during true winter. The silent season always makes me feel weak and apathetic. I see. Living in the far north is straining, even for the natives. I'm guessing you're not from around here, Constance? Oh, I see it's you who wants to be the listening party now. As a doctor, I need to thoroughly interview my patients. I like the idea, Gallon. Ha! So now I'm Gallon. What happened to Doctor? Are we dropping formalities and getting more intimate? I could try that, but my intuition tells me flirting with you would be art for art's sake. Art and flirting are my favorite pastimes, but I most enjoy flirting with artists. Sculptors do have strong hands. Ha! I'm glad there's someone like you in this city, Constance. I have a feeling we'll get along just fine. I think you may need some medication, though, to give your body a helping hand. I found some very noble-looking brandy in one of the cupboards the other day. It should do just the trick. I find alcohol a very efficient remedy for ailments of both mind and body. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Life has taught me never to refuse a generous offer from a well-intentioned man. Thank you, Galen. Perfect. Let me get the bottle. Thank you. You come across as quite relaxed and cheerful, Galen. It makes me forget that everything here must seem strange and new to you, and some things must be problematic, I'm sure. What's your least favorite thing so far? The worst thing about this place? The humming of the dome. I hate the constant humming over our heads. It makes my teeth hurt. I want to break things. I didn't realize you were such a violent person, Galen. Let's just hope you won't end up going on a killing spree. Yes, well, don't worry. I'm a doctor first, so I won't be following these particular impulses. Glad to hear that. The world doesn't need more violence. I certainly could use some peace-loving people in my life. May I ask why, of all places in this world, you chose to come to this city? What can I say? I love adventure. I also have a teacher who travels a lot. She made sure to plant the love of change in me. She says, being in constant motion and watching the world shift as you go was the best way to learn. I see. So she sent you here to have a learning experience? No, nothing like that. We get to choose our first journey out of the Isles. Actually, Nana Gide was ambivalent about my plan. She didn't want to let you go. Let me go? Spirits no. It's not her place to let me do anything. She's my mentor, my teacher, not a slave driver. She was worried that coming to a place so different from what I'm accustomed to would be too much for me. Takes a lot of flexibility to adapt to new circumstances. If you ever feel like you need a hand adapting or testing that flexibility of yours, remember that I'm here for you. I appreciate the offer, Constance. I'm flattered, really. But if you're offering to have sex with me, you'll have to be more direct about it. That's another thing about this place. People speak in riddles, and I end up having to depend on my instincts. Your instinct has served you well so far, Galen. Well then, I'm flattered and uninterested. So it's a no then. Well, that isn't something I hear very often. A pity. My boy Galen. He's above thoughts like you. Galen has his head straight. He's got his priorities in gear. Unfortunately, my pupils are gone for the winter as well, so I can't offer you the company of someone more suited to your character. If I may be so bold as to offer you advice, though, Kasaya might be interested in getting to know you better. You know, I feel like Constance is like the Moxie effect, you know, like Mad Moxie from Borderlands. I personally feel like characters designed to be hot just like aren't. They end up just not being very attractive. I don't know. That's just me though. Well, I don't think that's just me. I think a lot of people share this sentiment. But like, if you're clearly like really trying to be hot and sexy, then I think it falls flat most of the time. Ah, there you go again. If you mean... Yes, I mean sex. Really, Galen, subtlety is not your forte. See, being direct is simple and saves time. I can see how people who live for adventure and hate staying in one place for too long, would call haste a virtue. Wait, she's saying that the guard wants to have sex with me too? Yes, she is. You're right. I can be reckless sometimes. You're patient because beauty takes time. And the way I see it, beauty is what counts the most for you. Many would say that, yes. Oh, so it's not actually true? A lady should never reveal all her secrets at once. I'm much more interested in your impression of Kasaya. What I think about Kasaya? I don't like him. I really don't. He doesn't do his job and he's lazy. Seems like a good person. He's hot. He's too sure of himself. He seems far too confident in his abilities. To be honest, his all-knowing attitude is getting on my nerves. I hate people who think they're right all the time. I know what you mean, Galen. Kasaya can be very opinionated. Do you know what the worst thing about that is? He's usually right. We'll see who's right, now that I've agreed to investigate Lev's disappearance. How exciting. I'll be observing your competition with great interest. This brandy was a fine idea, I must say. Really helped break the ice. Hope I won't get hiccups, though. There's no real cure for that, you know? It just has to pass, and I hate waiting. Anyway, friend. I answered your question, and now it's my turn to ask you something. You're speaking with the right person. I try to learn as much as I can about everyone I meet, and I rarely forget a thing. There'll be a time for asking about others. Right now, I'm much more interested in hearing your story, Constance. Why'd you come to the city? Oh, it was a long time ago. My story's not nearly as interesting as yours. I have little to say about it. Ha! Looks like I found yet another victim of a terrible deal with the infamous bank. Excuse me for a second, I need to get some water. Whatever's in this bottle, it's nothing like the rum back home. Strange flavor too. How'd they do that? Some herb maybe? Oh, this is much better. But what was I saying? You mentioned compacts, Doctor. Oh yeah, the bank thing. So how come you people don't rebel against it? You make it sound so very simple. Well, isn't it? I mean, how many guards can they throw at you? Or are you simply too afraid to act? This isn't a topic I'm comfortable discussing with you. Come on, Constance, show some spirit. Where's your sense of Enough! I apologize, Doctor. You obviously meant no harm by asking, but it is a dangerous subject. Spirits, you're terrified. You would be scared as well if you knew half the things I do. There cannot and will not be a revolution in this city. Take it as a warning. What's happened to the gracious host happy to answer all my questions? If you truly want to end your adventure prematurely, go on and ask around about rebellion, but leave me out of it. I prefer to leave such foolish notions to Laura. Thanks. I'll remember that. Ooh. Ah! Spirits, what was that? Are you okay, Constance? Yes. The quake caught me off guard. The noise came from the market. It was loud, too. We'd better go see what happened. Gods, what's with the shaking? Gods, what's with the shaking? Look, the lantern hasn't switched to night mode. Something must be off with the system, but what? I don't know, but I have the feeling we'll find out soon enough. You might want to back away, just to be on the safe side.
It feels like the entire city is about to fall apart.
Uh-oh. That's no good.
What in Kala was that?
Oh no.
Is everyone all right? What happened?
We're all right. There's been an explosion. One of the lampposts apparently malfunctioned.
Gods, it was terrifying. Is it over?
The noise and the shaking stopped immediately afterward. So, yes, I think it's safe to say it's over.
The lamp. It looks dead.
Do things like this happen often here?
Constance? I haven't seen anything like this before.
Is anyone hurt? Any scratches or bruises?
I feel faint, Doctor.
You look fine to me, Laura. The stress will pass in a minute.
If you say so, Doctor.
So what exactly happened here?
What is there to tell? We heard what happened and we came to see its effects, Gallon. Did anyone see who did this?
I can assure you that whoever is responsible for this was likely acting from a distance, long before the actual event. That is, if there is a culprit at all.
What do you mean by that?
The city is old. Accidents like this are more likely to happen as technology ages.
That isn't very reassuring.
Though it does make me wonder how you could come to know so much about this city's technology, Yanni.
That's not what I would ask, Doctor. I think I actually caught a glimpse of someone running away from the market when I got here.
Someone? But there's hardly anyone left in the city.
Interesting.
Brief moments of heightened stress can make our minds play tricks on us. We shouldn't rely too much on our memories, Constance. Especially after we had that delicious brandy.
So you didn't see anyone, Gallon?
No, I didn't. I would still prefer to search the area and see if there are traces of anyone's presence.
Really? Really, Kasaya? Is that what you're wanting to do? A madman goes missing for 10 days? Oh, that's fine. Laissez-faire. Let him do whatever. A lamppost malfunctions? There must be a criminal around here. We must find them and investigate. Screw this guy, man. I hate him.
We should take care of the people at the inn first. You'll be needed there too, in case something strange happens again.
I think we should all just go back to our business and act normal. We don't want to cause any panic. Whatever the cause, be it sabotage or poor maintenance, the risk of another malfunction of this magnitude happening in the next few days is practically non-existent. I know this must sound difficult for you right now, but for the time being, we should be safe.
What makes you think that?
The building pressure, which most likely caused the explosion, found a way out. Even if someone is purposely unbalancing the current, it will take time to cause another incident. Unbalancing the current? What are you talking about? Does anyone know what she's talking about?
Has his priorities straight. Malfunctioning utilities has to take priority.
Oh no, a light bulb burst. We have a serial killer on the loose.
Yanni is clearly an expert on the matter, so it seems reasonable to trust her words. For now.
How do you know all this? How do you know all this?
I'm beginning to think finding you in the middle of that icy desert was more than just luck. What else can you tell us?
Not much right now.
I'll examine the site tomorrow. The current is still much too hot to do this safely now. Also, I'd prefer daylight for that. Daylight? We don't have daylight? We don't have daylight here. I meant the artificial lighting. Do you think you'll be able to find and fix the cause of the malfunction? I don't really have much choice, do I? If the system fails during the true winter, we're all going to die. Please don't panic. We all know what we have to do. Let's head back home and let Yanni work. Business as usual, people. I agree. Panic and paranoia are the last things we need right now. Actually, this gives me an idea. I was planning to hold a party to properly welcome our new colleagues. Tomorrow seems like a good time to do that. Finally, a party. That is very thoughtful of you, Constance. Oh, Constance, always the perfect hostess. I like the idea. Very well. I'll search the area. Laura, you'd better inform Istvan about all this. Galen, you see what's going on at the inn. I'll go with you, Galen. I would like to invite everyone personally. Welcome to the Jewel of the North, city of parties and random explosions. Can't wait to tell the folks back home about all this. Chapter 2, Jewel of the North. Okay. I figured we were getting to chapter 2 soon. So this seems like a perfect place to stop. It's about 9 o'clock now. I'm gonna wait for this to come into view so I can take a screenshot. Okay. And quit. There we go. All right, well. Whew. That was the first stream of Solstice, everybody. That was essentially a discount voiceover stream. Oh my gosh. I need to be I should probably do vocal warm-ups for the Solstice streams too. Now that I've done that. I'm glad I had a lot of water, some leftover cough drops. Hope I wasn't narrating too much though. I mean, I know the game is about narrating and dialogue, but you know. I'd rather the stream not just be a glorified cutscene, if you know what I mean. But I hope you had a good time. I'm definitely intrigued by this game. Interested to see where it goes. I really don't know what to think right now about the plot, like who's doing what. Like what Kala is, what's his name? What is the crazy guy's name? Dang, I lost it. It's not. Is it Verd? Yeah, Verd. What Verd's up to? I still don't know what his deal is. There's a lot of layers to this. I mean, it is a mystery game. So, hope you enjoy the stream. I'm Lev. What did I say? I don't even remember what I said. I must be tired or something. That was a lot. in one stream. But I'm looking forward to continuing this week after next. Because, as previously mentioned, I won't be streaming this Friday because I'll be gone at a convention with my friends. So, and that's why I stream for 3 hours tonight instead of 2 to make up for that. But next Monday, we will be doing more voiceover stuff, more casting call club auditions. And in case you weren't here when I announced this at the beginning of the stream, the last 2 auditions we did for the French boombox guy and the humanoid nucleus man thug, those have unfortunately been cast to off-site actors. Even though I felt like we gave a pretty strong performance, can't win them all, I guess. It's annoying though to see when one of the roles gets cast to an off-site actor, because it's like, well, guess why'd you even post it here, But that's neither here nor there. The point is, hope you all had fun here tonight. And I hope to see you on Monday, if that's your thing. If voiceover is something that you're interested in seeing me do. But until then, I wish you all a good night, good evening, and goodbye, everybody. See you later.